believe in the economic integration of EU, and we believe that by allowing all European nations to join the EU is the only way to go. I have one main argument in today's debate, which is how countries can gain benefit to help its citizens. But before I move on, I have 4 main rebuttals against the opposition case. So first, they talk about how there's so many differences, but we believe that the opposition's case are supporting EUs to discriminate these countries based on their ideologies, ladies and gentlemen. We believe that EU should not support this discrimination. And we see, if we talk about in case of Turkey, we're talking about people's perception. People perceive that we have differences, so they don't want to join. We said people would always have this perception because these are things that they could not foresee. They could not virtually seeing this happen. But when we actually allow and they see this happen and they see that we are not so much different, and this country actually contribute to the better economy of the EU, we said in that case we can settle these differences. And we can settle these differences, and we can settle this discrimination by seeing that by allowing Turkey, by allowing these countries to join EU, it actually benefit EU in the long run, and it would also make people accept these countries more, ladies and gentlemen. And my second rebuttal, they talk about the cases where they do not respect the human right. We say that the benefit of them joining EU is that they have to comply with our motto that we do not support human rights violation. They have to comply with our agreement that they have to get rid of that human rights violation. So we see that this is the only force of change that we can make to this country. If we do not allow them to join the EU, they will continue to oppress that people, ladies and gentlemen. But if we have them join EU, they will have to sign our treaties, and then the change in the country would actually happen. We said that they will have legal reform, they will have privatization, and they will have respect in human rights. And this change cannot happen if we do not allow them to join the EU, ladies and gentlemen. And my third rebuttal, they talk about how there are unemployment in many countries. We say how this is not mutually exclusive in our case. We can employ these people from these nations, and we can also gain more workforce. We can gain more workforce from the new country. So in our case, we actually have more workers. And if we actually analyze the unemployment in the European country, we see it is already at the natural rate of unemployment, ladies and gentlemen. So therefore, that's why we need more workforce to actually increase the labor force, actually increase the productivity of EU, ladies and gentlemen. And in the fourth rebuttal, they say that with EU is doing the charity. We say this is not the charity because by allowing them to join the EU, it actually benefits all the countries in EU, and not only this nation, ladies and gentlemen. Because by allowing economic integration, not only that we will have more workforce, but EU will actually be stronger in terms of economic integration, ladies and gentlemen. And also, they talk about they want these nations to be at the same level before they can join the EU. Ladies and gentlemen, how can they be at the same level when they still have high level of tax, high level of tariffs? And we see that this discourages foreign direct investment. And we see that what this country needs the most is for the MNCs, for the investment to actually go in the country. And we see that this can only be done by allowing them to join the EU, by allowing them to join the free trade area, ladies and gentlemen. So, to my first argument, how countries can gain benefit to develop its citizens. In the first level analysis, it's the benefit to the nation's economy. We see that when the country is a part of a larger market, these markets expand, ladies and gentlemen, and that will be the investment, that will be multinational corporation comes in and invests in the country, because right now we have lower tariffs, so the cost of actually going into invest is lower. So now the market becomes attractive to these investors, ladies and gentlemen. So we say this foreign direct investment directly benefits the country because it stimulates the economic activity within the country. We see employment in this country will increase, and also people would get when people are employed, people would get the skills necessary. We will get the skill necessary. For example, if you want to build factories in a nation, we said these people would have the skills in the workforce, and now they can continue to work later on. And also we see that when the employment increase, the standard of living of the people in the country also increase, ladies and gentlemen. And also the government can use the revenue to actually improve the infrastructure and improve many parts of the country. And we said this is the only way that these countries can develop, ladies and gentlemen. We also see that between 1999 to 2007, the trade between new and old member of state actually grew from 175 billion euro to 500 billion euro, ladies and gentlemen. And we also see that this outweighed the cost of EU's financial assistance to these new members because it only comprised of 0.2 to 0.3% of all EU GDP. So we see in this case, the benefits outweigh the harm, and we actually gain more if we allow this economy integration, ladies and gentlemen. And also, how this country will benefit. We said every country will always have the comparative advantage. They will also gain. They will always gain from this free trade area, ladies and gentlemen. When they become part of the larger market, we see it when they have economy of scale, then they can gain the specialization. They can focus on the things that they are based at, ladies and gentlemen. And when they can, and we see that when the country focus on what they're good at and they export to other nations, we see then we have the larger consumer market. So we can actually sell more to the people. We see in this case the total revenue of the nation is actually increased, and also by making the product cheaper, people would want to buy this product more, and in this case the total revenue would also increase, ladies and gentlemen. And to my second level analysis, this is a benefit on the individual and in the nation. We said these individual in these nations itself can have good quality imported products, because before this we see that they have to produce products that you're not specialized at. So we believe that makes the cost of goods that being produced are very high, and these put burdens on the people because they have to tolerate high product price. But when we allow this FTA to happen, we see that it would benefit the individual because they now can have the good quality imported product at a very low price, ladies and gentlemen. And third sub-level, why this cannot happen without our model. So right now, we see that these markets in these nations looks very unattractive because the economy is bad, and also the government has a protective measure. The government set high tariffs, so there's not much foreign direct investment. But when these countries join the EU, we see that foreign direct investment is encouraged, and we see this is the only way that the country can actually become more developed, because they gain the revenue coming from this investment, ladies and gentlemen. So therefore, we believe that the economic integration in EU is the only way to go, ladies and gentlemen. We would not support the EU to discriminate countries based on different ideology, and that's why we support the economic integration in the EU nations. Thank you very much.